Hello everyone. Last time we stopped at move entity. Now we are going to use copy entity. So to demonstrate that, let me draw a sketch. So now go to move entity. This move entity drop down menu. Select copy entity. It has been selected automatically. Let me clear the selection. So I want to select it. It has been selected. So click this box. You first click, release your mouse, then you drag to a convenience location to desired location and click again. Now we have this rectangle has been copied from here to here. So that's how to copy an entity. To copy again, go to copy entity. Now select all, select this box, click, then drag again. Now you can just copy it. Let's say you copy it here, click to position it. Now it has been copied twice. So that's how to use copy entity. Copy our sketch. So now the next option we have is rotate entity. To rotate this entity, you have the entity to rotate box, you have keep relationship option here. So now let's select entity that you want to rotate. So how do you want to rotate it? You want to rotate it using center of rotation. Now you pick a point on the screen, click. This is the center of rotation. Then you can rotate using the arrows. You click the arrow, hold down the key, and then you rotate. That's how to rotate. You can rotate this way. Then when you are done, you right click. So it has been rotated. So let's check the second option, which is the second option of rotate entity, which is keep relationship. We are going to keep the relationship. Now, so we are picking our center of rotation. Now, so right click. There is no difference here because there is no relationship. So let me add a relationship to this rectangle at this point. I'm going to add a coincidence relationship. So let me just, okay, let me leave them. So now I'm going to use rotate entity, keep relationship, select what I'm rotating, and I want to select my center of rotation. Now, you see, now I'm done. We have them deformed, not arranged the way they are just because we selected keep rotation. This point is trying to be here. These other two are trying to maintain the um relationship between them. So that's why we have them scattered on the screen. So to have exactly what we want, I just undo it and then rotate entity, uncheck this, then click this. Now we can rotate without having them being scattered. So right click, you see, since it's not trying to keep any relationship, the the sketch is perfectly rotated. So now, so let me clear the screen to continue my explanation. Um, so I'm going to make another sketch also to trim entity. Okay. So to use other entities here, we have scale entity. If I want to, let's say I want to increase the size of this scale of this sketch, I want to increase it, I want to multiply it by 2, or I want to reduce it by into half. So that means I want to scale it. To scale it, the first box, you have to register the entity you want to scale. So I'm going to register, I'm going to select all this and scale about. Which point do you want to scale about? Is it this point? That is, the shrinking or the enlargement will be at this point. If it is this point, this will be the point in which either expansion or shrinking will come towards. So now let me pick this point. And what's the scale? Is it, do you want to increase it by 2? If it's, you want to increase it, if you want to multiply it by 2, then click 2, enter. So you see the size has been increased. If you want to reduce it into half, you press 1 divided by 2 and then enter, or 0.5. That will do 2. So if you want to keep the original copy, just check this copy box. That means we have our original copy, we have it remain, and the new scale will also be found. So let's uncheck it, then click OK. Now we have it scaled into half of its original form, so we can go on and rescale it to 1. Okay, it is initially 1. Let's scale it to so. Okay, okay, scale about has not been selected, so let's scale it to 1. It is initially 1, so scale it to 2. That's how to scale. I checked the copy box, that's why we have the 2 together. So let's change the scale point to see the difference. Now, so instead of scaling about this point, I will scale about this point, but I have to cancel this option first and select all of this, scale about this point, then I want to increase the size. See, this is what we have initially. I mean, this was there before, but this is what we have initially at the center. It was expanded outward. That was because we are scaling about this point. Let's change the scale point. Let's scale here and see the difference. You see it is coming downward. So let's pick another point and okay. Now you have to clear this and pick this point. See, it is expanding to this side. So your scale point is also important when you want to scale your sketch. So you can either check this to have this, and you can uncheck it if you don't want it. So that's how to scale in SolidWorks. So the last option here is stretch entity. So to stretch, which entity do you want to stretch? If you want to stretch, that means you are not stretching the whole sketch. Now let's say I want to stretch this line, this line. So from to now, which point do I want to start? See me stretching it. Stretching, I can stretch to any side. either front, up, or down. So now it has been stretched. So that's how to use stretch entity in Solidworks. So now I think now we are done with anything about sketch tab, except okay, we've treated mirror entity also with scale. So now I'm going to move to 3D, how to form 3D in SolidWorks. So before that, I will clear the screen. So to form 3D in SolidWorks, you need features tab, you need the tools there to form 3D in SolidWorks. Now I'm going to start, but the first thing you do before forming a 3D is you have to draw your sketch. So let me draw sketch, and then so I'm going to give dimension this side. Let me make it 1500. So from here to here, 1000. From here to here, 1000. So this point to this point, 1300. So now I'm going to trim this part off. So my sketch is defined. These two lines are not fully defined. They only need position to be fully defined. So to do that, you can add okay. The distance from here is driven the distance from here to here. So let me make it 3000. Now we have it fully defined. You see it changing from blue to black. So you have your sketch being fully defined. Then come to feature tab. The first option we have here is extrude boss base. Click, then you have it changing from 3D to 2D, and from 2D to 3D. You can drag it to extrude. You can see the the ruler. If I want it to be 1500, I will just pick here. See the dimension here. So we have optional. We have the property, the extruded boss base property here. You insert their value here. So is it from plane that you want to start your sketch? You have option from plane, from surface or face, from vertex, from offset. So now let's stick to from plane. And we have several options here. We have blind. If we say something is blind, that is, it does not have an end except to define it. Now, vertex, up to a vertex, the corner edge of a 3D is called vertex. So you can use this to reference the endpoint of your extrusion. If you are extruding up to surface, you can use a surface to reference the endpoint of your extruded boss base feature when you are extruding, and you can offset the endpoint of your thickness from a particular surface, and you can instruct your extrusion to bridge particular body. So this mid-plane option, that is, you want your sketch to be at the middle of what you're extruding this way. Now, see, immediately I selected midpoint, we have this sketch moving to the middle. If I select just blind, it will be at the end. Now, let's say the side I want to extrude to is not this side. You can switch the direction by clicking this arrow here. You see. Now, one other option that we have here is draft. You can draft your 3D by adding angle. Let me increase the angle so that the effect will be visible on the screen. Now you see, that's how to draft. That's what draft means. That is as if you are adding chamfer to the edge of your feature. Now, so now if you want to draft it outward, you see this draft is moving inward. If you want to draft it outward, you see it will be drafted outward, and then you can increase it. That's the angle of the draft. But now I'm not using draft, so I will uncheck this. Now it has come to normal. Let's say I've extruded to this direction and I also want to extrude to this direction. Using midplane is different. So I'm going to check the second direction box and I want to extrude to this down. You have the arrow now. You can drag and select and make sure you are on 1005 here. For now, we are not on it exactly. So you can click this box, clear it, and enter 1500 as the dimension. Press enter from your keyboard. So if you are adding your dimension, let's say 5000, you can change the unit. Just come to this unit option and you can add any unit that you want. Let's say I don't want it to be in millimeter, you can use centimeter. So you see the difference, it has been increased. Instead of 1500, it has increased to what, 15,000 millimeter. Yes, it has converted that centimeter to millimeter, but I'm going to change it to 1500 millimeter. So that's how to change your unit. Now, theme feature, you can't really use it here, but I'll show you how to use theme feature in other sketch. I will draw another sketch and use this feature for the extrusion. And also select contour. I'll also show you how to use that option too. So now this is how to extrude in Solidworks. Now that's it. To use other option, which is theme feature, I'll create another sketch beside this, and then starts from here. So I want to add relationship here, so I come to this point. I'm not clicking, just come there, so that we can have a line joining them, that brick line joining them. That is, it simply means they are in line, they are collinear. So at this point too, they are collinear, and I can drag this side. I have to see that line. Yes. So now I want to add the same length here. I want to add it here, but I've forgotten. So let me use this opportunity to introduce evaluate to you, and then measure. Just click, you see the dimension. Now we have this place to be 4500 mm. Cancel. So go back to your sketch smart dimension. So 4500. Okay, good. So you can just add dimension to here. It's 3000 initially. So from here, okay. So let me trim. Okay. So enter. But we have this not being fully defined because we did not add the position. So let's just distance between them. So now it has been fully defined this side. So just leave this, and then let's try to extrude. Now you see, because initially this one has an enclosed sketch, but this has an open sketch. So same feature was activated automatically, and blind feature together. So now there is a merge here, merge result. I will show you the function of this merge result also. So the mid plane. So you can, okay, let's say I want it to be 1000. Yes, good. And then okay, theme feature is supposed to work, but it's not working perfectly. So you can't add thickness to it, but I'm going to edit the sketch, and I'll trim this side and trim this side also. So let me add the layer shape. Maybe it will be fully defined. Okay, so fix. Okay, we have it fully defined. Then now come to okay, okay. Because what happened was that it has been extruded before, so I'm going to come back to extruded theme feature, click on it, and then edit feature. This is how to edit feature. So now mm, I'm trying to add thickness to it, so I don't know. Okay, yes, the thickness is there, but it's not just visible enough. So I'm going to use one direction up. So let's say 1000, so that you can see. See, yes, the thickness has been added. That was what I was trying to add the other time. So that's how to use theme feature. So now before we've been sketching on plane, we can pick this surface and pick this surface. We can sketch on this surface. Since we have it, we can use it as our plane. Now start from this point to this point. So I will come to feature tab and then extrude. I want to show you this merge relationship. So like the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to match this relationship, then select. So let me sketch here also and show you the difference. So I'm going to uncheck this, then click. You see the difference? Here we have it to be one. Feature, this feature and this feature has been merged, but this last one is not merged to this, and you can see the demarcation line between them. That is, they are not merged. So this body is different from this body. You can see as I was selecting this, the whole of these two have been selected together because it has been merged, just like this. It has been merged. So that's the function of that merge. So let me delete all these feature. So yes, all okay. Let me edit the first sketch. So I will add line here, and I also add another line here, and I'm going to try to extrude. Initially, if the line is just one closure, if there is no other loop around it, you will see the preview automatically. So for you to now start extruding this sketch, you have to select which contour you want to extrude. We have three contours here. You can extrude this side, extrude this contour, or extrude this contour. You have them. So now I'm going to extrude just these two. So you can give the parameter here, the height. If it is to vertex or surface, you can select it from here too. And then you click. So you see the difference. So if your sketch is not properly, if you not properly draw your sketch, you might have to select contour. Instead, make sure you just have it just one close look in your sketch. So that's how to use extrude boss base. Also, let me go back, click this drop down, edit this sketch. So I want to trim the sketch. I will trim this, trim this. Good. So let's say I want to cut off some parts of this extrude boss base of this feature. To do that, I need to cut using extrude cut. I can also cut with other features, but let's just stick to extrude cut here. So I will click here and start a sketch. So let me just cut off, let's say O. So I'm going to give dimension of this O. Let's make it 700. Okay, 700, not 100. So I'm adding blue and shape to this. I want them to be horizontal, and I want them to be equal circle. So I don't need to, can add the relationship here. I don't need to add dimension to it, automatically to 700. So I'm going to position this circle from this bottom. Okay, let's say 700 also. And then lastly, I will add the position from here. Let's say 600. And this is fully defined because the position and the dimension has been fixed. Now the last dimension. Okay, so now go to extrude cut. So I would like to demonstrate some option here. Just this option is similar to extrude boss base. You can either use blind. If it is blind, then give the dimension to be, let's say, 1000. You have it. It is not true. Okay, 1000. So I want you to see from this side. Let me change it to something smaller. So 500. Here you have it at the middle. It is not true this body. Now let's say you want it to be true all. It is coming from this point throughout the body. That's what the function of that option is. Up to next is similar to true or. Let me show you. We have it in blind. If you click up to next, it will extrude up to the next surface, which is here. That's why we have it all through also. So up to vertex. So we have vertex around here. I can just pick this vertex. If I want it to be all through, if I pick this vertex, you see it's coming through up to this vertex that is similar to true or. So I have other options also up to surface. So I have to click this surface. It's also serving as, it's also working as like true all also. And offset from surface, I've selected this surface, that's why it was selected in this option too. So I have to clear it and reselect it. Offset from surface, that is, you want to offset it from this surface. If I want to offset it from this particular surface, I say, let's say it should, the distance between what I want to extrude to this surface is 300. So just come to this box and enter your 300. It is now closer. If I want it to be 1800, I have to change it. So it's how far away from it. If I want it to be at this side, reverse offside, or reverse offset. So it is not inside that I want it to be offsetted. I want it to be outside. So flip side to cut. That's another option of Solidworks, but this is not going to work. That is, we are not cutting this inside this circle. We are cutting what is outside. But this won't work because it will cut. It can work, but it will cut off all the body. It will only leave this shape, this circle, this whole shape. So I don't need to flip it right now. So the direction of cut, let's say, is going wrongly. Instead of coming inward, you see I've clicked it and it's going outward. I now want it to come back inside. Then click change direction. I have to change the direction. Let's say this sketch is at the middle of the sketch and I want it to go either of the go to the other side too. Click direction 2. So we have the other direction, but this will not have effect because there is nobody to cut through. So similarly, the way we use scans, all the same features, see, the sketch 2 now is now cutting in the other side. It's not cutting at this middle again. That is, we are using 10 feature. So let's make it to be something reasonable. Let's change dimension to something like 100. So you see, it is cutting a thickness now. It is cutting through thickness and it is not cutting through this middle. So if we want the sketch to be at the middle, you see the sketch is at the at one end. The sketch is at one end of this thickness of cut. You can click, so you see it is at the middle now, mid plane, and two direction. You want it at the middle and at the other side too, but let's just stick to one direction. Though we are not using that one, we are not using team feature. So let me first demonstrate this. I will uncheck this second direction because there is no need for it, and then I'll click. So now we have our O. So let me demonstrate the 10 features. So to do that, I'm going to click this. I'm going to edit the feature. Editing feature is different from editing sketch. So I'm going to use okay, the theme feature is not here again. Okay, so that's how to use extrude cut. So we should stop here today and we will continue from here next class. Thank you.